Chapter 1. The Leander Pearls. I was sitting in my office, busy doing nothing. No phone calls, no messages. Nobody in Los Angeles seemed to need a private detective today. A warm wind blew in at the window, bringing with it the smell of the oil burners from the hotel opposite. I was just thinking about going to lunch when Kathy Horn came in. Kathy was a tall blonde with sad eyes who had once been a policewoman. She lost her job when she married a cheap little crook called Johnny Horn, hoping to make him into an honest man. Now, Johnny was back in prison again, and Kathy worked at the Mansion House Hotel across the road, selling cigars and waiting to try again with Johnny. She sat down and lit a cigarette. "Did you ever hear of the Leander Pearls?" she asked. "God, that old blue suit of yours is so shiny. You must have money in the bank, the clothes you wear." "No," I said, "to both your ideas. I never heard of the Leander Pearls, and I don't have any money in the bank." "Then maybe you'd like to make yourself a cut of 25 grand. I put my cigarette out. How was Kathy Horn going to put her hands on $25,000? "It was 19 years ago," Kathy went on. "A guy up north named Saul Leander brought the pills for his wife. Just two of them. They cost 200 grand. "How can you wear something as big as a football?" I asked. "I see you don't know a lot about pearls," Kathy said. "It's not just how big they are. Well, they're worth more now, and the insurance company is still offering a reward of 25 grand for them." I get it," I said. "Somebody has sold them." "Now you're using your head. It was a mail car robbery. A guy hid on the train, got into the mail car and shot the clerk. Then he took all the valuable mail and got away. But when they caught him later in Canada, they didn't get any of the stuff. They sent him to Leavenworth prison for life, but they never proved he got the pearls." "If it's going to be a long story, let's have a drink." "I never drink before sunset," Kathy said. She watched me get my little flat bottle out, then went on. "His name was Sipe, Wally Sipe. He did it alone, and he never said anything about the stuff that he took. After 15 years, they offered him a pardon, but he had to tell them where the stuff was. So he gave them everything except the pearls." "Where was it?" I asked. "In his hat?" "Listen, this isn't just a funny story, Carmady," Kathy said. "I've got a lead to those pearls." I shut my mouth with my hand and looked serious. "Sipe said he never had the pearls, and I guess they believed him because he got the pardon. But the pearls were on the train, and they were never seen again. Just once in Leavenworth prison, Sipe had too much to drink and started talking. The guy that he told was a little man called Peter Murdo. Sipe said he'd hidden the pearls somewhere in Idaho." I sat forward a little. "Getting interested, huh?" Kathy said. "Well, listen to this. Peter Murdo rents a room in my house, and he drinks too much and he talks in his sleep." I sat back and sighed. "Oh, Kathy," I said. For a moment I was planning how to spend that reward money. Kathy looked coldly at me. Then her face changed. "All right," she said, a little hopelessly. "Maybe it's a crazy idea. It was a long time ago, and a lot of people have looked for those pearls. But he's a nice little guy,
and I believe him. He knows where Saip is.
Did he say all this in his sleep?
Of course not. But you know me. An old policewoman's got ears. I guessed he was an ex-con, and sometimes I stopped outside his door and listened to him talking to himself. When I'd heard enough, I made him tell me the rest. He wants help to get that insurance money.
I sat forward again. So, where's Saip? Kathy smiled.
He refused to tell me that, or the name that Saip's using now. But it's somewhere up north, near Olympia, Washington. Pillar saw him there, and he says Saip didn't see him.
I lit another cigarette and had another little drink. Okay, I said. Will he talk to me? I guess he wants help with talking to the insurance company. After, of course, he goes to see Saip, and Saip just puts the pearls straight into his hand and walks away. Is that it? Kathy sighed.
Yes, he'll talk to you,
She said.
but he's really frightened about something. Will you go and see him?
Sure, if that's what you want. Kathy took her keys out of her bag and wrote her address on a piece of paper. She stood up slowly.
I live in one side of the house, and Pillar has a room in the other side. There's a door between the two sides with a key on my side. If he won't come to the door, you can get in that way.
Okay, I said. I blew smoke at the ceiling and looked at her. Kathy walked towards the door, stopped, and came back. She looked down at the floor.
This is Pillar's business, really,
She said.
and yours now. But if I could have a grand or two waiting when Johnny came out, then maybe.
Maybe you really could keep him honest, I said. It's a dream, Kathy. It's all a dream. But if it isn't, you get a third with Pillar and me. Kathy opened her mouth in surprise, then stared hard at the window to stop herself from crying. She went towards the door, turned, and came back again.
That isn't all,
She said.
It's the old guy, Saip. He did 15 years in prison. That's a long time. Doesn't it make you feel bad?
I shook my head. He stole the pearls, didn't he? He killed a man. What does he do now?
His wife has money.
Kathy said.
He spends all his time with his goldfish.
Goldfish? I said. To hell with him. Kathy went out of the door.